Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today I want to take you through a full comprehensive list of all the supplements that I do use. And ultimately these supplements I use on a daily basis in most cases. And ultimately I am by no means a doctor and have no certificates in nutrition or any dietary stuff like that. So ultimately take these recommendations with a grain of salt, but these are just the items that I have been using for quite a while and have benefited me in the past and have solved some of the issues and stuff that I have been having and just overall have benefited me. Ultimately, starting off, we do just have a basic multivitamin. I do just have the Kirkland Costco brand, but ultimately I'm not like set on any of these brands that you will see, and ultimately a lot of them are just Kirkland and Costco ones because you can buy them in bulk and they are cheaper that way than picking up individual bottles that have smaller quantities. With that, I will also have the benefits and stuff on screen. As you can see with the multivitamin, there's a wide array of different benefits that come with each individual vitamin content that is within the gummies. And with that, the reason I just use a multivitamin is my diet is not highly diverse by any means, and I definitely don't get enough fruits and veggies in the day, so this is a great supplement to fill in some of those vitamin deficiencies that I would otherwise have without it. Moving on to vitamin D3 as the second supplement. Ultimately, vitamin D3 is huge for somebody like me that lives in the Midwest and just doesn't get enough sun exposure to actually reach a good level of vitamin D content and just absorption through that sunlight. And then also, I am not a huge fan of like salmon or other fatty fish, which is also another good source of vitamin D3. So ultimately, I will supplement vitamin D3 quite often, and especially now in these winter months, getting sunlight is few and far between for the Midwestern folk. And then ultimately moving on to the third supplement is creatine monohydrate. And this is one of the supplements that is very scientifically proven to be beneficial, and then also is one that I would say is almost a non-negotiable if you're looking to get stronger in the weight room and just progress in general with your physique. It's one of the ones that is just widely studied and has widely been seen to benefit athletes as well as people just powerlifting, bodybuilding, just progressing in general in their physical fitness. So it is one I definitely would not sway away from if you're debating on what supplements to try out. It is definitely one that I would keep in your regimen for a long while, just at that 5 grams a day with the recommended serving size. And then moving on from creatine is glucosamine and MSM. And you might not be greatly familiar with glucosamine and MSM, but ultimately they are two supplements that do support healthy joints. And I will have a picture on screen going a bit more in detail with those benefits. But ultimately I started using glucosamine and MSM as I did have some joint discomforts such as knees, mostly just from lifting, and then also being an athlete. You do bang around on your knees quite a bit, so it's one that has really benefited me, and I definitely have noticed when I've taken it consistently that my joints do feel a lot better. So it is one that I recommend if you do have achy joints by any means. And then the next one is, or number 5 on the list, is calcium, magnesium, and zinc, or you could take a ZMA product. And ultimately that word after the calcium is some fancy chemistry term, but like I said, I'm not a doctor. I am definitely not certified in any nutrition course or anything, so I don't know what exactly that means. But ultimately there are a lot of different benefits that come along with calcium, magnesium, and zinc. And you can get it definitely in the form of ZMA, and that is what I'm more familiar with, and it's definitely a good recovery aid. And then ultimately zinc is really good for testosterone levels and just hormones in general, whether that is for males or females in that matter. And then ultimately the 6th and final supplement that I take, I guess there is a 7th if you want to consider it a supplement, but I won't, but we'll get to that in just a bit, is a fish oil or omega-3 supplement. And ultimately, as I mentioned before, I definitely do not eat a lot of fatty fish, but fish oil is very good for just a number of different reasons, as will be on screen right now up to the right. And then ultimately with that, going more in depth with just fish oil and omega-3s, it's good for brain health, joints once again, And then also, I just don't get it from my diet enough because I'm not a huge fan of salmon or other fatty fishes. So it's a good supplement for me to put in. And then I guess the seventh one that I wouldn't really consider a supplement, and I won't have any pictures or benefits on screen, is ultimately whey protein, or just any form of protein powders that you can get, whether that's casein, whey, isolate, etc., whether it's soy, vegan, doesn't really matter. Ultimately, it can be a really good thing to include in your diet if you do not have enough protein in your diet, as it is a great way to get a lot of protein in without throwing in a ton of calories. Like, for example, if you're gonna have a scoop of like isolate, it could be like 100 calories for 20 grams of protein. Whereas if you're gonna go out and have a hamburger or something, you could run 300 plus calories with some beef patty that you would be eating for just about the same amount of protein ultimately. So it is a good supplement to throw in there, but I would just consider it another like dietary consumable ultimately, not really a supplement per se. And I know I ran through these quite fast, each individual one, but if you do want to read up a bit more on them, on the benefits and stuff, feel free to go back into the video and run through those benefits and just kind of look at each one. But these are the 7 supplements, I guess, that I do use on a daily basis almost. Whey protein being the one that I might not use every day, but darn near every day I do use it also. So if you did go on to enjoy this just short informational video, definitely leave a like, comment down below with any questions regarding the supplementation choices that I do make, and then also make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying the content at any point. It really does help me out a bunch. And with that, I guess I will see you guys in the next one.